welcome. This is the second video. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully this one's a little bit better than the first one. The first one was like an hour long of dog shit. I think most of it was dead air. Excuse my burps. Um, so the second video, what are we doing today? We're continuing editing. The name of the book is Dumb Grunt by me. I'm S.A. Avelar, which is totally my real name. What's the book about? A depressed combat veteran describing his worst memories of Afghanistan for veteran benefits. That's the one line blurb I guess you're supposed to have. Why is the book relevant? It's not really relevant anymore. Afghanistan is over. We still see videos coming out of Afghanistan of all the shitty stuff that happened. But it's relevant in a way where, a lot of veterans are my age now. So I guess it's more of a snapshot of what happened over there. Afghanistan sucked. But unfortunately, it defined the whole generation of people. Like for me, I'm not very interesting if it wasn't for Afghanistan or the military. What's today's motivation? Nothing really. I just have some time to kill. I'm trying to knock this out before I have to go back into my real life. I have work in a little bit. I worked the last 2 nights. Not that it's a good excuse of why I look like shit. But yeah. So, bear with me. Again, I'm not a professional writer by any means. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm not a professional by, yeah. The last chapter was about Frank Torero. He was getting introduced. He's the main character in it. He's the combat veteran, the depressed guy. It kind of shows his family, his home life, which is just him and his roommate living like a sad, depressed, sad bastard kind of life. He's on his way to the doctor's appointment for the psychiatrist for the VA for his benefits. He checks in, says hello, all that good stuff. The second chapter, what are we doing? We're in Afghanistan now. Now it's going to be in the same type, second person, third person. I don't even know, dude, to be honest. But we're going to continue it in the same type of format, but in Afghanistan. Now it's 2010. We're jumping right into it. So let's get started. Okay, so chapter 2, America Loves You. I'm doing this again because I want to be able to read it out loud, hear what it sounds like. Again, excuse, the dog shit you're about to see on the screen. But I am learning with you. Chapter 2, America Loves You. An explosion in the distance. Doc Torero's eyes open out of a deep sleep. He lays there, staring at the Afghan sky, and sees no blue or sun. No blue or sun. Sand-colored sky above him and around the quiet patrol base in the southern end of the flat farmland of Helmand province. He lays there staring at the Afghan sky and sees no blue or sun. I think we should combine that one. Just sand-colored sky above him and around him, and just above him and around the quiet patrol base in the southern end of the flat farmland of Helmand province. I'm making a lot of assumptions here, hoping you people know what a Helmand is. The dirty and dusty squad of Marines pause for a second and then continue their morning routine. It's a heavy sandstorm compared to others, and enough to provide some refuge from the usual intense heat of the summer of 2010. Another bonus was today's patrol across the farmland is officially cancelled, so no fights with the Taliban or stepping on an IED today. Some of the Marines, dressed in their mud-crusted bottoms and faded olive green shirts, and their faded olive green shirts. Crusted bottoms and faded olive green shirts. Silently stare at the plume of the visible but obscured smoke over the sand berm that surrounds the patrol base through their scratched visors. A faint scream can be heard in the distance, but the sandstorm quickly makes the plume disappear and drowns out the noise. Nobody's screaming Corpsman, so Dr. Torero. Nobody's screaming Corpsman, comma, So Doc Torero decides not to open his eyes and rolls back over to sleep, rolls over back to sleep, and rolls over back to sleep. "We got any patrols out?" a voice screams while trying to look through the sandstorm. "Air's red," a Marine says while cleaning his rifle. "No patrols out right now." "Probably a Taliban burying an ID," someone else says from one of the guard posts as he spits some tobacco spit on his boot by accident. And he accidentally accidentally spits accident. "Maybe a dog stepped on one," a Marine responds as he opens a wag bag in preparation for a morning MRE shit. Not a good reference. MRE shit means like the solid, almost brick-like turds you would lay because of all the MREs you'd be eating on deployment. But I don't think that adds to the story, so we're just going to go with shit. But then again, describing an MRE shit would be taken away for right now. We're not there yet. "Man, okay, so maybe a dog stepped on one," Marine responds as he opens a wag bag in preparation. I think we're going to go 1 comma on this because I think the double quotation marks means that it's talking, and I'm not talking. As he opens a wag bag in preparation for a morning shit. "Man, don't say that," another Marine says while laying in his cot and scrolling through his laptop pornography. The pornography in his laptop. Scrolling through the pornography in his laptop, in his library. Scrolling through his library on his cot, while laying on his cot with his laptop on his chest, scrolling through his library of pornography. "I think a dude married a goat and they blew up an IED to celebrate," another voice screams while lighting the burn pit on fire. Another Marine is urinating in a spent rocket launcher tube used as a piss tube for the patrol base, an Afghani firework. Doc Torero stays quiet in his dirty cot, hoping nobody will ask him for anything, and places his earphones back and his blanket over his head. An extended track of whale sounds. An extended track of whale sounds that he listened to. Is that wrong? An extended track of whale sounds that he listened to from time. Is that wrong? That he listened to from time to time. Why is that wrong? It has to be wrong, but it doesn't sound wrong. An extended track of whale sounds that he listened to from time to time when he's feeling extra depressed. When he's feeling extra depressed, plays on his MP3 player. Okay. That's weird. Cool. On his MP3 player, and he gently cradles his genitalia to a deep REM sleep. 100 years or 30 seconds or 5 minutes of deep sleep later. I should put like a little... Yeah, because something happens after that or something, right? I don't know. 100 years or 30 seconds or 5 minutes of deep sleep later. "Yo, Doc, wake your fat ass up." Torero keeps his eyes closed, hoping his squad leader, Sergeant Mendoza, who was always in a bad mood when he spoke to Torero, would go away, but he kicks Torero's cot. "Yes, Sergeant?" Sergeant Mendoza and the entire squad of Marines preferred their former corpsman, Doc Ortega, who had died after stepping on an IED a month prior. Torero left the relative comfort of the main forward operating base, which had better food and a phone, in order to replace their fallen corpsmen. Trevor left the relative comfort in the main forward operating base, which had better food, and a phone, in order to replace the squad's fallen corpsmen. Tower radioed. Sergeant Mendoza kicks the cot again when he sees Torero falling back asleep. Tower radioed. Said there's 2 fucked up little girls on the road out front. Cool. Torero stretches out and unzips his mosquito netting and does another slow stretch. Guessing it was that motherfucking bomb. He puts on his filthy trousers. Oh, what's wrong, doggy? Go back. Oh, you got it itchy? Alright, my dog's scratching at something. Hope he's okay. Bubba. What's wrong, my big girl? Something in your ear? Come here. Let me scratch. I could edit this part out. It's okay. I don't know how to edit, so I'll just leave it on there. Alright. Oh, sorry, Mamash. Scratch up you some more. Stay right there. Cool. Torero stretches out and unzips his mosquito netting and does another slow stretch. I'm guessing it was that motherfucking bomb. He puts on his filthy trousers and boots. Mendoza yawns and scratches his scrotum. The fucking dad or granddad or husband or whoever the fuck he is, the fucking guy with them, says they got shot up by an ANP. He wipes his taint sludge on his shirt. Afghan police only sometimes shoot civilians. Torero slowly looks for his med bag and an instant coffee packet. I didn't hear any gunshots. Okay, faggot. Oh, okay. Warning. The F word, faggot, is used here pretty regularly. Do I mean it in a bad way towards, the people that it's referencing towards homosexuals? No. It's more just a, phrase used in the Marine Corps. If you're offended by it, click off or whatever. I don't really care, but it's just the way people talk, and this is going to be dirty realism, that's for sure. We're not going to sugarcoat it, and so just, be prepared for that. It's not really that book, and it gets a lot worse than that. Okay, faggot, and what's your fucking point? Get the fuck going. Move your fat fucking ass and I'll meet you out in front, and hurry the fuck up. Mendoza puts a grape-sized amount of chewing tobacco in his mouth. Don't put on your flak. Torero stops what he's doing. Excuse you? Mendoza's face turns into a murderous confusion. Excuse you? My bad, Sergeant. Torero clears his throat. I just mean, why can't I wear my flak? I thought we weren't doing that stupid shit anymore, and I can wear all my fucking gear. CO changed his mind and wants all of his Navy What's wrong with that quotation mark? Why is it like that? Okay. Why is that one like that? Damn, my quotation marks are all off too. Interesting. We'll work on it. CO changed his mind and wants all his Navy pecker checkers checking the locals with no battle dress on. Wants you guys to win some hearts and minds. Mendoza smiles as he puts on his flak jacket. Weirdest thing too, he just rated about it like an hour ago. Fucking bullshit, Torero mumbles to himself and grabs a 9mm pistol from under his pillow. 2 in the heart, 1 in the mind, he says bravely to his pistol and stuffs it in his waistband. Just get the fuck going, Doc. They're probably dead by now, for fuck's sake. Sergeant Mendoza writes something down in his notebook. Torero grabs his med bag from under the cot and pulls the pistol back out and puts it on safe and puts it back in his waistband. Torero grabs his med bag from under the cot and pulls the pistol back out from his waistband. And puts it on safe. Then puts it back. Torero grabs his med bag from under the cot and pulls the pistol back out from his waistband and puts it on safe, then puts it back. And puts it on safe. Then holsters it. Torero grabs his med bag from under the cot and pulls the pistol back out from his waistband and puts it on safe and then holsters it. And I almost shot my asshole off, he whispers to himself before leaving the sleeping area. Hey Doc, Sergeant Mendoza yells over at Torero. Just so you know, if you're blown up by a suicide bomber, it ain't gonna matter if you got your Kevlar and groin protector, Mendoza says with a smile. Cool. Torero nods in appreciation at his squad leader. Cool so much for that, Sergeant. Tell my mom that when you get back home. Torero turns and jogs towards the entrance that sits between the two machine gun nests that sit atop the piles of sand that surround a small, desolate patrol base in the middle of nowhere, Afghanistan. He exits towards the tower, as the Marines called it, which was a small mud brick pump house retrofitted with a second story built by the Marine engineers using mostly pallet wood, sandbags, and plexiglass covered in spider-webbed impacts from various Taliban bullets. It was always occupied by Marines sitting on a metal chair for 4 hours of overwatch of the farmlands surrounding the patrol base. Lance Corporal Fernandez and Corporal Roberts are nervously keeping a group of locals away from the entrance of the tower. Torero can hear Ahmad and a scream of a child from the inside. Sup, Doc? Fernandez nods awkwardly at Torero. Fernandez, a smallish, but what? Relevant? No, reliable Marine. Sup, Doc? Fernandez, a smallish but reliable Marine, nods awkwardly at Torero. Oh, what am I doing? Nods awkwardly at Torero. What's up, putos? Torero responds, oh, there's also Spanish in this randomly, so learn Spanish. I should put that in italics, I guess, but I'm not. What's up, putos? Torero responds while pushing through the group of local Afghans. Damn, man, I need to go to sleep. What am I even doing right now? Oh, my God. Take a little drink of water. Shit's hard, man. I don't know how people do this professionally. You guys must be fucking kids of rich people, dude, because this shit is stupid. I mean, like, this is a hobby, and I hate it. This is the only thing I'm, like, not even good at, but it's the only thing I enjoy. And some of you assholes get paid for this. Fuck you. Okay, anyway. Corporal Roberts extends his arm out to Torero to pull him faster through the group. I'm having a kid, Roberts says with a large smile that's not seen often in Afghanistan. What? Torero's eyes widen in terror, and he squeezes between two large Afghani women in full hijab. My wife was having some pain, so they're going to induce her. We're gonna do gonna, not going to. Gonna sounds cooler, because these guys didn't go to Harvard. My wife is having some pain, so they're gonna induce her. My boy's on his way! Exclamation point. Because he's excited. Nothing bad could happen from that, right? My boy's on his way. Command radioed up from up north, Robert says happily as he pushes back against the crowd. They got a call from back home, which was like the case, man. People would have kids and bad shit would happen and you just stay there, dude. The world kept going and you're just there in the middle of fucking nowhere with nowhere to be. It's kind of like prison. It gives you that freedom of discipline. I think I stole that from Joe Rogan. Because there's literally nothing to do but the same like 5 things, and 3 of them is not die. So that was freeing because it was not too much to worry about. My wife was having some pain, so they're gonna induce her. My boy's on his way. Command radioed from up north, Robert says happily as he pushes back against the crowd. They got a call from back home. Oh, okay, so you wanted this child. Question mark. So you wanted this child? Torero sets down his med bag and hugs Roberts. Congrats, you fuck machine. Damn, I thought we had a bastard child to kill when we got back home. Wait up. I like that, but should I fix it a little bit? Oh, okay, so you wanted this child. Torero sets down his med bag and hugs Roberts. Congrats, you fuck machine. Damn, and I thought we had a bastard child to kill when we got back home. when we got back home. When we get back home, because it hasn't happened yet, right? Damn, and I thought we had a bastard child to kill when we get back home. Yes, that is the correct way to say that we were gonna kill a baby. Hypothetically. I'm gonna edit this part out. I need to check something really quick. Let's see how much time I have, because unfortunately I need to... Okay, I'm okay. Anyway, we're still recording. Wow, that's good. Torero... Robert's already white smile widens further. Yeah, my first kid. A boy, too. Did I put space in there? Oh. Okay. Yeah, my first kid. A boy, too. My dad's first grandson out of 9 grandchildren from my sisters. Torero feels the familiar feeling of a child's fingers around the 9mm pistol wedged between his pants and lower back. He violently backhands the child across the face, which stuns the crowd of locals. Torero tosses the slapped child a bottle of water that a larger child steals right away and turns back to Roberts. Nice, your whole family likes to fuck. Anyway, congratulations, brother. That's great fucking news. Excuse me. Ugh, I'm disgusting, sorry. That's great fucking news. Let's take some party pills later to celebrate. Torero goes up for a high five. I got a fresh bottle of muscle relaxers I've been saving for a special occasion. I like to party, Doc. Roberts high fives Torero. Those girls are pretty fucked up in there, Doc. Fernandez interrupts the chit chat. And they didn't get shot. That's fucking bullshit. They're fucked up. You should probably get in there, you fat bitch. Fuck, that's right. The group of locals begins to yell louder for no reason. Torero points towards the entrance. This whole fucking thing. Anyway, can one of you dicks radio for some Marines? You know, before one of these people blow us all up? Why is that like that? That should be like that. I should have fancy quotation marks. Why do I have these? I'm sure... I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we're going to have to edit this again anyway. Honestly, we'll probably do all these chapters like over and over. It'll probably be the same video over and over, but with like different moods that I'm in. Like right now, I'm in a good mood. But, yeah. Anyway. Air is red as fuck, Doc. Doubt it. They ain't risking a helo for this weather. They ain't risking a helo in this weather. Ro points up at the sand-covered sky and continues to lean against the crowd. I know. Torero gets a little nervous and he finally peeks into the room in the pump house and sees Ahmad, the squad's 30-year-old interpreter from Kabul, speaking to an old Afghan man whose age could have been 40 or 60 or 100 years old since nobody knew their age. Since nobody knew their age. Period. Since nobody knew their age. Okay, everybody back, Torero yells at some of the locals trying to look inside. America loves all of you. A small child in the front motions for water, and Torero hands him one. See? America loves you so goddamn much. Another large child immediately snatches the water from the small child. Torero finally enters the room where the 2 girls lay on the dirt floor, draped by a traditional Afghan blanket. The old man is squatting, enjoying a cup of tea next to a squatting Ahmad, who sees Torero and smiles and offers him a cup of chai tea. No thank you, Ahmad. Torero nods at the 2 girls. So ellipsis? So ellipsis? I know what an ellipsis is. Torero nods at this girl. So, doctor. Side note, the Afghans learned English from Marines, and Marines learned English from other Marines, and Marines are notoriously not the smartest people on earth. You know, if you give them anything nice, they're either gonna fuck it or break it. So that's the type of personality we're dealing with here. So they learned English from Americans who speak English already in a certain way. You know, you're probably thinking about, you know, that weird coworker you have, that veteran guy that keeps to himself, and he's kind of like weird guy. This is the guy that this interpreter learned English from. So, you know, it's not offensive. No, thank you, Ahmad. Torero nods at the 2 girls. So, doctor, girls are very double bad condition, serious. Ahmad points at the 2 girls laying on the floor with pale, expressionless eyes through the eye holes of their hijabs. Toro notices a slow ooze of blood beginning to puddle from the blanket that's covering their wounds. Toro exhales as he bends down and starts pulling back the blanket, but the blanket is stuck to the moist and clotting wounds. He puts on his latex gloves, and takes out a bag of saline and cuts a corner off to try to moisten the blanket so it doesn't pull off any more charred skin or break a clot. Fuck. He pulls down the blanket further and exposes more of the girls' bodies, but the old Afghan grabs and pulls Toro's arm and begins to yell in his native Pashtun. Pashtun they speak Pashtun. Long story short, there's Dari in Pashtun, and we were in the Pashtun part of town. Toro smacks the old man over the head with the bag of saline, then punches him in the stomach with a solid left that brings the old man down to his hands and knees. Toro pulls his 9mm out of his waistband and straddles the old man's back, pressing the muzzle against the back of the man's head while keeping his fingers straightened off the trigger, which is how you're supposed to hold the gun. And remember, this book is fiction. The old man says something calmly to Ahmad. Ahmad listens, then snaps at Toro to get his attention. Doctor, old man says this is not first time he had gun to head and not to touch girls. It is haram, doctor, for a man to touch a woman that he is not family or married. I swear to fucking God, some people just don't want help, Ahmad. Toro backs his pistol away and kicks the old man's arms from under him. The old man's face hits the old man's face hits the dirt floor, and Toro puts his left boot on the back of the old man's head, and he presses the gun against the old man's anus through the back of his thobe. Thobe is the big white man dress, the traditional dress that they wear. It's called a thobe. Is it probably called something else? Probably. But we're going to go with thobe because that's what Google told me, and I don't want to Google it again right now. Presses the old man's anus through the back of his thobe. Okay. Maybe he'll understand this better. Tell him if he doesn't calm down, I'm going to shoot his asshole and paint the floor with his nutsack, then treat the girls, or not, while I let him bleed to death. Or I let him stand up, and we could talk like grown-ups. Toro pushes the pistol harder against the old man's clenched rectum. The old man relaxes his frightened rectum and puts his arms up in surrender. He says something calmly to Ahmad. He would like to discuss calm with you, doctor. Ahmad lights another cigarette. Toro takes his boot off the man's head and puts his gun back at his waistband. He picks up the old man with his bloody gloves by the armpits, staining the old man's white thobe with the children's blood, and wait, they didn't have white thobes there. They had like gray, they had all sorts of shit. We'll just say the old man's faded gray thobe, because they had different colored thobe there, and I don't want to say white. I don't want to make him look like he's some fucking clean Saudi Arabian or some Qatari and shit. These guys were going through it. Afghanis are fucking awesome. They're going through it. And don't fuck with them, or else, they'll make you write a stupid book. Let's see. Toro takes his boot off the man's head and puts his gun back at his waistband. He picks up the old man with his bloody gloves by the armpits, staining the old man's faded gray thobe with the children's blood, and dusts it off, only spreading more sandy blood. Here you go. Toro hands him a bottle of water and embraces the old Afghan. See, you son of a bitch. America fucking loves the fuck out of you. Toro hugs the old man tighter, cracking his spine slightly. And constricting and oh, you don't know. Toro hugs the old man tighter, cracking his spine and slightly constricting, and slightly constricts his breathing. Does that have a good flow? There you go. Here you go. Toro hands him a bottle of water and embraces the old man Afghan. Here you go, comma, because it's all in one motion. Here you go. Here you go. Toro hands him a bottle of water and embraces the old Afghan. See, you son of a bitch. America loves the fuck out of you. Toro hugs the old man tighter, cracking his spine, and slightly constricts his breathing. So fucking much. Toro whispers into the old man's ear. Just accept our love, motherfucker. He backs up, suddenly engulfed by the old man's odor, and puts his pistol on safe, then back in his waistband. The old man says something to Ahmad. Pause.